first come, first serve action in Bayfield, Wisconsin. That's coming up. So one thing we don't do enough as full-time RVers is explore our hometown and our home area.
Our home states.
Yeah, we come home and we see, friends and family, and then we just don't do a lot of exploring. So we just got done with a week with my family camping in Augusta, Wisconsin. We had fun except for the whole day of rain yesterday, which made pack up pretty horrible. But we're gonna drive 3.5 hours up north to Bayfield, Wisconsin, and try to get this first come, first serve campsite, which is right across from the ferry to the Apostle Islands.
On Lake Superior. The up north lakes are a fantastic spot to go to in Wisconsin and Minnesota. And like Aaron said, we just don't do it when we go home and visit. We have stacked schedules, so we're excited to go up on the lakes.
Yeah, apparently I've been up here before when I was a little tiny baby, but I don't remember it at all. So I'm excited to see this. Everybody talks about the Apostle Islands, Madeline Island, and it's supposedly beautiful kayaking and caves, and Lake Superior and all that is just beautiful. It's right up close to Duluth and Two Arbors, which is where we used to go every spring.
And where we got engaged.
So this is the downtown strip of Bayfield. Straight ahead is the ferry, which we're hoping to get on tomorrow or the day after. And sun's coming out. It was raining all day yesterday and all this morning pretty much, and
that's where we need to grocery shop. That's
the store. Oh, yeah, a little meat market.
This is a super cute town. It feels a little bit like Two Harbors, just because that's where we always went in Minnesota, where we would drive to from Minneapolis. And it also feels a little bit like Stillwater, because Stillwater is a little cute historic town that's close to the cities as well. But it is very unique and different from all of those things that I'm saying. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Looks fun.
Big Bay State Park, that was where we were gonna stay at. That's the Madeline Island ferry this way.
So I wonder if this park has views. The one that we're going to, the Dalrymple? Is that what it's called? Dalrymple?
Dalrymple?
Worcestershire?
What's this green sign say right here? There it is, Dalrymple.
On the lake.
Come on, vacancy. So like all other first come first serves, you drive around, you find a spot, and you put your little reserved tag on there and you pay for it.
You secure it. And we're planning to stay.
I see empty sites so far. That's good news.
We're planning to stay 4 nights.
One of the most touristy places in northern Wisconsin, and there's all types of campsites that are available. But of course, this is first come first serve, so a lot of people are not willing to risk it. So these are nice and level, like this one. Let's check down by the water though.
We would like a sunny spot so we can dry out our tent.
That's true.
And we would like to not have tree coverage because we need to dry out our tent. What's down there?
Not very sunny, right?
Yeah. Not very sunny, but it is pretty.
We're always horrible at picking out campsites. We're so indecisive. We almost like to have just a spot assigned to us. Otherwise, we'll just drive around and do loops and loops and loops and be like, well, this looks good.
Okay, so I need to park right where you are.
Our ladder is going to deploy here. This is our spot.
Yeah, so I need to park right here.
No, we're not doing that anymore because we have to worry about being level.
So we're gonna park right in the middle.
Yeah, you don't, and we don't need that much space, so we don't want to park there, I don't think. I think we'd want to.
It feels kind of cold down in this spot. Do you think it's too covered?
I think they're all pretty covered.
Okay.
This is going to be the only one with a water view. So do you want a water view?
Yeah, I think we do.
Then this is the perfect spot.
I think it's perfect. Okay.
It's not going to be any warmer 15 feet up that way.
Okay.
See what I mean? We're so indecisive. Okay, stop. It's level time. One thing that's nice is it's not so far very buggy.
Good.
All right, try pulling forward on that. Yeah, this is pretty here so far.
I like it.
And we got a site with a water view.
We did. We got a water view. It's secluded. It's private.
It's giant.
It is giant. It's like everything that we wanted.
Yeah.
It's not very close to a bathroom, but that's okay.
It's not really far away either though. It's just right up here.
Yeah. It's a good way to get extra steps in.
Yeah. I have no idea which way the sun angle is going, so we'll see how much sun that does get down there.
Yeah.
But if it's gonna be hot, we want shade anyways. So bathroom's that way. A lot of sites up top here. Garbage. I think they all have electrical, or almost all of them. Okay, pack up this morning was wet. We were just soaked, and the tent is soaked. I mean, we've only been driving for a little bit, but I'm gonna pop this open and we'll see if we did any damage. I don't think really it can start to mildew or mold within a few hours, but it just, that's one of the big downsides to, I mean, it wasn't even raining when we packed up. It just rained all day before.
I'm heading up inside of the tent to assess the water condition. I already know what it's like because I was in there this morning, but we don't know how wet the mattress may have gotten after collapsing the tent onto it. So that's what might be different, is the mattress might be completely saturated. And hopefully it's not, but I'm gonna go up there, I'm gonna open all the windows and get some of our fans blowing some air around. It's been about 2 hours since I was last up here, and I just came to check on it, and it's completely dry. I just turned the fan off. The mattress is dry, the walls are dry, and I'm super excited about it. And so now I'm going to make the bed. I'm gonna set it up with the sheets and everything because I don't want to have to do that later. And it's a lot easier to do it in the daylight. I'm just checking to make sure it's really dry. It is really dry. It's a lot easier to do it in the daylight so the bugs aren't swarming you trying to get inside of the tent. And I was just doing some computer work for work. Aaron is also working.
Working on some YouTube comments with a beautiful view of Lake Superior. I love it. If you've never been to any of the Great Lakes, They are something special. They're at certain points they look like an ocean. You can't even see the other side of it. It's great. Here we're on the little tip, so you can see the other side of it. And
It's still great.
still just makes you smile.
Let me see your pearly whites.
Get out of here. Don't be creepy.
Okay, I'm gonna make the bed and then we're gonna get on our bike ride and we're gonna go do a quick stroll on Bayfield.
It's only population 451, so I think it's a small town.
451?
It's really small.
Really?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a quick tour. There's a bunch of cute stuff down there.
But it's a great town that like I think you could walk that main street for a good, oh, it's Sunday. It's probably some farmers markets or something.
Ooh, let's get down there.
It only works with the, are you trying to do the long depress, short depress, or what?
I just went to go make the bed and I couldn't make the bed because when I took the sheets up there, I realized that our fitted sheet was pretty damp. We didn't even realize how damp that sheet was that we were sleeping with. If I wake up with a cold tomorrow, we know why.
It was soaked. Everything was wet. So hopefully it all dries out and the sheet should dry pretty quickly.
I think so too. It's pretty thin. It was a cheap $18 set of sheets from Walmart that we've had for many years. It's like if you hold it up to the sunlight, you can see through it. You can see the ocean if you hold it up in front of you. So I put the sheet in there and we'll just let that dry. But the other blankets feel pretty good. It was just that fitted sheet because that was the one that was on the mattress. So
yeah, maybe you can like spread them out a little bit in there or hang them up or something.
Yeah. So we're gonna really leave this time now that I got that under control. It's a good thing I tried to do that now because that wouldn't have been fun to sleep on tonight. Into town. You win.
Don't judge us.
This is what you do in Wisconsin. We go get beer, pizza. We said no to the cheese curds, so we limited it at 2 evils. And you know what? It feels so good to be in Wisconsin. We're just so happy right now being in one of our home states.
So working out is a bit challenging in our new setup, mainly because it's just tough to be outside all the time. We don't have a lot of access to showers, and so we're having just a acclimation period here where we're figuring it out. But the truck is working out great for these band anchor movements. So we have anchors up front on the tow hooks, and then we have the rack on the tent, and we have all types of anchors for the bands.
We used to use our bike rack on the van, so we have the bike rack when the stick goes up too. Yeah, so it's kind of fun exploring, and what we need to find is a secure point for a low anchor. That's the only thing that we're really missing, but we will figure something out for that.
Yeah, everything about the truck is tall. Like,
it's so tall.
There's nothing low about it. So something with the tire I could try to figure out. That's about it. But you know, tires are pretty dirty with brake dust and grime and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. But otherwise, it's it's so far so good. I mean, we're actually getting a lot of nice weather, especially in the shade. I mean, when it's like 75 degrees and shady, it's really, really nice.
It's really pleasant right now. The key for us, and this has always been the case, is to do it in the morning. If we don't do our workouts in the morning and the day goes on, the chances of it happening diminish at an exponentially alarming rate.
True.
So everybody, I highly recommend getting it done first thing, even before breakfast, because sometimes breakfast can kind of like put you in that mood where you want to wait for a little bit, and I don't know, it's depending on if you can work out fasted or not. I actually do both. I dabble just depending on how hungry I am that morning, but I think the biggest challenge with RVers and working out is obviously weather. You have to go out there in some conditions that aren't comfortable. You have to be uncomfortable. And another big thing for us is the ground and also bugs. Bugs are a big deterrent. You just got to struggle through it, and you got to get bit and, you know, keep going.
Yeah, and exposure. A lot of people when they first start out have a bit of
insecurities.
Yeah, insecurity about just working out in a campsite with people looking at you, watching, but you get over that really quick if you just continue to do it. So yeah. We're still loving these bands. These are great. If you remember, we left our dumbbells at home, and now we're almost back home, so we may take a quick peek at those and see what we want to do. But 150 pounds of dumbbells sliding around, you know, maybe we can figure something out. But the bands just work great for space and for actual workouts. Chris is using a garbage bag on the floor this morning. Yeah, it's so dirty. We do have exercise mats. I have 2 great mats to choose from. I have my Airstream mat and my Anderson mat, but when it's this dirty, because there's been a lot of rain, I don't want to get them all trampled and just gross. And then we put them in our truck, and everything in our truck gets gross. So I just threw down some garbage bags because this dirt's actually quite soft, and I used that as a mat. If this ground was really hard, I would have thrown the garbage bag down and then put the mat on top of it just to use it as a little liner. You know, and it's not to be weird about it, but it's like, I just want to stay clean. I want to keep my equipment nice. I don't want to trash it, because as soon as it gets trashed, I'm not going to want to use that. Yeah, I'll say this campsite is phenomenal. It's big. It's got the Lake Superior right down there. We can listen to the waves last night, besides the wild animals that were killing each other.
There were some unidentified wild animals fighting in the middle of the night. It woke both of us up. Neither one of us had any idea what it was, but it sounded like a medium to large size body, and it sounded like howling we've never heard before.
They were howling and screeching.
Really like somebody was dying.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It you know, didn't sound like anything we've ever heard. Could have been the chipmunks.
So I definitely feel better. Back to the workouts, like if you don't feel like doing it and you know that it's part of your goals and you're really trying to do it, force yourself to do 15 minutes. And you'll be surprised how easily that 15 minutes, you either hit it and you quit like you promised yourself, or you might hit it and you might go to 30 minutes, because once you get going, you feel so good. So just tell yourself, show up 15 minutes, mope through it if you have to, but I promise with time, you won't be moping anymore. I do share a lot of my fitness workouts and day-to-day fitness stuff on my Instagram. The handle for that is Irene Iron Fitness. And if you want to just follow along with more workout stuff, we do tend to keep the YouTube more travel and RV and mobile lifestyle related. And then over on the gram, I do a lot more cooking, eating, fitness, more of my coaching topics, since that is our business. And a lot of the workouts are for bands, because the bands are really affordable and they're really convenient for everybody to use, no matter what your situation. Dumbbells are also awesome, but with COVID, the prices are inflated. They're really hard to get, and a lot of people don't want to be spending $500 on dumbbells. So these bands are a great option at like less than $70. So we love them.
And we do plan on getting some cooking episodes going again. A couple truck camping with the Blackstone, and then also once we get our outdoors RV, we're going to be doing some cooking in there.
The cooking shows will return. So I always love to hear what you want to see, some recipe suggestions. And it doesn't have to be healthy. It can be healthy or not healthy, depending on what you guys really just want to learn how to cook. I think a big part of cooking, people just don't know basics on how to cook. So I'm really excited to share that stuff. Like if there's just some basic, how do you do this or how do you do that? Like let me know so that we can cover some of those topics.
breakfast time. Peppers, hash browns, and sausages.
This is like
True camping food.
This is random stuff that's been sitting in our cooler. We've had those hash browns for over a week. And I did steal a packet of ketchup from the gas station because we don't eat a lot of ketchup. But those little packets are super tent friendly. They were also van friendly since I have to limit my refrigerated condiments. But take those packets whenever you buy stuff somewhere and just stash them in your glove box, like me. Erin loves it.
I can smell the maple on those things already.
Yeah.
Vermont maple.
These used to be packaged in a foam with cellophane that once you broke it open, you'd have to then cling wrap it or bag it, and they switched the style. I don't know when. They maybe switched this multiple years ago, but we never buy them. It's a reusable bag, so that's convenient. So if you only want to cook half, you don't have to waste more of your paper products to store it. Ingenious.
And it gets smaller as you eat it.
And it gets compacted. This smells really good. And then I always use my packaging that I'm gonna throw away as like my utensil holder so that I don't get my table dirty. I know it's kind of gross because the packaging isn't purely sanitary, but I'm not weird about it. So I like to do that stuff to save paper plates or save paper towels because that's already trash anyway, so it helps me stay clean. Oh, and I have the last of my turkey patties that I prepped. I'm gonna throw those on. These I did my 5-spice seasoning, which is also on my blog. My favorite sausages to make are the Chinese 5-spice and then my turkey sausage patties, and they're delicious. And I love because they're pre-portioned, so you can just grab one or two.
Oh, and since we're on the Blackstone, I keep forgetting, we mentioned how bad wind is with the Blackstone, and I totally forgot that we got these wind covers right before we sold the van, actually, and we just never really talked about them. Some people are talking about some pretty ingenious ideas of using like dough knives or pie covers. I'm not sure what they are, but they basically do the same thing as these, where they hook over the edge. They're not 100%, you know, they go back like that. They put a vent in them. If it's really windy, it's still not great, but
they work better than our tinfoil that we rigged together.
Yeah, and the front is open still, but man, they really do work a lot better with these up. They're kind of expensive though. I think they were like 30 or almost 40 bucks for this set, and the Blackstone itself only costs like $80, so it's quite funny that 3 pieces of metal is half the price of the entire grill. They should definitely come with something like that though. There's no need for all of that airflow underneath there.
We like to use this front warming section a lot for foods that you want to just continue to slow cook or keep warm. This is like our cooking area, and this is our keep warm zone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Blackstone actually has well, at least the 17-inch has a H pattern on the burner, so this right here is kind of the hottest, and then it has 2 burners going that way, and there's no burner up here, but obviously the heat keeps it warm.
So potatoes are a very good carb. What gets you in trouble is when you load them up with butter and oil and all the stuff that tastes good. Once you add the fats to the carbs, that's where it's a caloric bomb. But I did do a very thin layer of avocado oil on the griddle before I smashed these down, and then I flattened them. This is actually our first time, but these kind of look a little loose to me. I should have maybe done those tighter. One of these squares is like just 150 calories roughly. It's really not bad, and potatoes are a lot more satiating than bread and rice are, so if you want to get the most bang for your buck with your carbs and like filling wise and just feeling like you ate something good, potatoes really do give you that feeling. You just got to be careful to keep them healthy. Yeah, they're smoking. Should we flip one?
Mm-hmm.
I'm nervous. Oh.
Nope.
Nope. And, you know, if you were to like drench it in oil, it'd be a lot more delicious, but sometimes you just gotta dabble the line and do the best you can. Oh, and then I am gonna sprinkle some of this on this Montreal steak seasoning. I love putting these on potatoes, wedged, or like potato, like the steak cut fries, the homemade potatoes. These are so good on, especially if you have an oven to roast them in. Oh, nice sausage. Nice sausage.
I dropped it and caught it.
These sausages smell really good. That maple is amazing.
Yeah. Sitting down, relaxing, enjoying it, and all of a sudden the rain starts coming.
And Aaron's so funny. He runs around and says, "Fire drill." What do you do?
Well, I had my laptop on my lap here.
First time we've had stuff like all sprawled out, and then actually I want to keep our chairs dry.
Yeah, put them underneath the awning there. So it's super gray there.
Underneath the what?
Right over here. A light rain will be fine. Gotta love camping.
Fire drill! Or wood! Aaron, we're gonna have a fire tonight.
Yeah, put that underneath the truck. We just heard a big clap of thunder, and it looks like a little storm cell's coming through. It won't be long. So what do we do when it rains? Well, we don't want to get all soaking wet, so we're gonna sit in the truck till it passes by, and then we'll continue with our day.
It's kind of warm in here.
It's not too bad.
Hopefully it will pass quickly. I'm getting antsy to leave.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave camp and explore town. Today's our explore day.
Yeah, but we don't want to pack up and then get just drenched on the way over. And
oh, we should put our raincoats on and then go.
yeah, we did find those last night when we were digging through the boxes.
We should do that. Let's put our coats on and leave.
Okay.
Yay!
Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It looks like we're in a serious dilemma on what to do
It's kind of fun.
for fun.
It's kind of fun being a tourist. Our big debate right now is, do we want to do a big boat tour or do we want to do a kayak excursion?
And then also the e-bike ferry ride over to Madeline Island.
Yeah.
So we have 3 things that we need to do.
Well, we for sure want to do Madeline Island just because I feel like it would be stupid to be in Bayfield and not go to Madeline Island. So we're for sure going to do that. And then we do have one more day. And of course me, I ask the waitress everything. I always ask the waitresses and like local people what their opinion is. And she kind of leaned more towards the kayaking because the boat tours are so jam-packed, and if it's hot and you're on deck jam-packed shoulder to shoulder with strangers, it can kind of take the fun out of it. So we were like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So there are some kayaking pamphlets that we have, and it's a little, we're basically just gonna like do some research through here, and then we're gonna walk over there. It's literally like right on the parking lot, and we're gonna go talk to them in person and pick their brain and see what they push us into. And I'm like, oh, we're just gonna walk in and then we're gonna get suckered into something, and we're gonna walk away, feel like we're winning with the booking. But it's really cool because these kayaking trips, they actually have some serious trips where you can go like 7 nights around the Apostle Islands and go camping, tent camping. And I was joking, I was saying if our tent wasn't fixed to our truck, we could just pack our tent and like extend our stay here and do that. How awesome does that sound to go island hopping in a tent with kayaks and a leader? And
they're unmanned islands.
They're uninhabited.
Uninhabited. Oh yeah, uninhabited islands. So you're like the only people there.
Yeah, so I think tomorrow will be our Madeline Island day, where we'll take our bikes onto the ferry, and it's going to be $15 for the bikes round trip, and then $32 for Aaron and I round trip, so that's $47. And then of course we're gonna like eat lunch and like we're just total tourists on vacation right now. This is like when we go back to Minnesota and Wisconsin to visit friends and family, we're in vacation mode. I'm gonna walk to the bathroom.
Okay.